Give me 1 quick second, if you will.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone?
Are you talking to me?
I believe we are live. I believe we are live right now. Okay, everyone. I'm going to leave the chat. We're live right now. We're live right now.
Oh my god, the audio.
Cool.
Right.
What's up, everyone?
Oh, you dragged me in. Oh, nothing much, dude. How are you?
So, what's the channel name here for?
Base Leftist YouTube, I think.
Yeah, Base Leftist YouTube. I put it on announcements in both Real Debates and Base Leftists. I mean, everyone who's on here is already on here, but, you know, that's cool. Hey, everyone. What's up? How many people we got watching right now? Oh, shit.
Damn, Based Panini moderator.
Exactly. Got 9 people watching. Great. Cool. Cool. I'm gonna go take off my uniform real quick. I'll be right back. I know this is really informal, but
bro, you need to do something with your mic, homeboy.
Me?
No, Panini.
Oh, Panini. Yeah. Panini's got some scuff setups.
Yeah, I know. Look at my fucking.
What time is it over there?
Microwave. So.
It's so true.
Okay, it's not showing. The live stream is not showing up on YouTube as live to me.
No, they aren't. No. Come on, Panini.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Apparently it's not showing up on the YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
I should probably open my second monitor and put it on there. Fucking boost those views.
Yo, are they streaming in Real Debates? Yo, let's go. Let's go. Let's absolutely go. Okay, we're gonna wait for TikTok Fax Machine real quick. Yeah, let's wait for him, and we'll be right there.
Okay. Hey, Panini, by the way, in case unless you want to interject, could you mute your mic for 1 sec? I want to test something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's a little popcorn static with your mic going on when your mic is unmuted. So, is it cool if you have if you want to interject for moderation or something, unless you do that, just have your mic muted. So you can do the intro and stuff, and then if there's something you want to talk about, like interjection, there's a little bit of popcorn going on. So it's tilting me.
How much popcorn?
It's not bad. It's just there.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little
A
bit.
little bit.
Yeah, I might just unhook my mic from my stand and just
create channel. What the
professional
fuck?
debater.
No.
Moderator.
Oh wait. Wait, that basically fixed it.
Oh cool. Oh cool. Cool.
It's every time you move, it makes that sound, which is interesting.
Oh, it's probably because this is not on a stand, right?
I'm trying to make an account so I can comment. What the fuck is happening? YouTube is weird.
Awesome. We're just waiting for TikTok Fax Machine, everyone. Just wait a bit. He's right there. Cool.
I'm back.
He's arrived. Ooh, what's the food you got?
Bro,
food?
It's like a combination of a bunch of different shit that I just threw together.
Let's see how many people are on, bro. 12, bro. We got 12 people watching.
Is that on the YouTube or is that on the Twitch?
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Fucking ignore me. I see how it is. Okay, Panini.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. We got a couple people watching on the server. That's cool. Yeah, so I guess I can start here. You guys both comfortable starting?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Cool. So welcome to today's debate. It's pretty much the first official Base Leftist debate. This is pretty cool.
I know, first one.
And today's debate is basically, as you can see on the screen, with OmniFlow versus Thomas Simpson, who is, of course, the Wonderful. Here, I'm going to turn off my cam because our webcams are really bad right now. Essentially, we've got 𝗙𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who's Thomas Simpson. We got OmniFlow, who is OmniFlow. And these two are going to be battling it out today over the topic of LGBTQ rights. So they're going to be talking about certain things. The main question today is, should LGBTQ history be taught in schools? We're also going to be fielding some audience questions at the end. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But essentially, today's debate is going to be really fun. The basic format of the debate, we're going to have a little bit of an opening statement, followed by an hour of like open dialogue between the two debaters. And then next, we're going to be doing a little bit of questioning time, a little bit of Q&A from the audience. If you look at the description, we have the Base Leftist Discord server. If you join that, and we will be opening one of our channels to questions, and you can ask them. We'll be fielding them, of course, and it's going to be great. Yeah, so let's watch these two debates. Oh, by the way, after the questioning time, there'll be a little bit of a closing statement. I hope you didn't miss that. So essentially, opening statement, open dialogue, questioning time, closing statement. If you're all hype, type in the chat, make your comments, do whatever you want. We might feature one if your comment's really good. Oh, he left.
Who left?
TikTok left.
Oh. Yeah.
What happened there?
I know. I'm in. Thank you.
Ah, dang. What? Yo. Where is he?
I think you just got under. I think he was just scared. I'm just that good. Sorry. I feel my screen is so bright. You can see my acne all over my face. Oh wait, I don't have any.
Okay. Here. Device is not connected. He's here. He's here, guys. He's here, guys. Don't worry. He didn't pussy out.
Ah, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's okay. Wow, 20 people, huh? Jesus, okay. That's cool. Oh, he left. He left again.
What the fuck? I just got, what the, did you do that? What is this reliable lefty? That's so cool.
Yeah, I could
showcase him? That's so fucking cool. Why am I such a boomer? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't get how any of this stuff works.
Yeah, dude. I don't know where he is.
He'll be back.
Oh crap, where'd he go?
It gives me time to write my opening statement. I was just
where'd he go?
He'll be back.
Yo, he's here. Device is not connected. He needs to connect his mic and cam. Why did he leave in the first place? Yo. There he is. Okay.
Probably his internet or something.
Yo, there you are. There you are.
This app is freaking out.
I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the only way we could do it because StreamYard's like, I guess it's pretty cool. I don't know. Here, let's start, I guess. I want to kind of start by letting you guys give off your opening statements. And as always in these debates, we always let the challenger make the first opening statement because the challenger is obviously TikTok Fax Machine. They will have the ability to make their opening statement. So TikTok, if you'd like to make your opening statement, that would be awesome. I'll mute my mic and let the debate begin.
Thank you. Sounds like popping popcorn. Anyway, so the debate was pretty much about, do I want LGBTQ studies to be taught in school? Me, no, personally. I perceive it to be indoctrination as opposed to actual education. I believe it falls in the way of real education. And that would be pretty much my opening statement.
Cool. OmniFlow, now your turn.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay, so that was quick. I didn't have to write down much. I was expecting to write down way more. But anyway, LGBTQ studies obviously should be taught in school. It's the idea of we've taken something from the past that was so stigmatized as being bad, and finally we're starting to normalize in today's society. It's starting to become a normal thing for you to be gay, and it's not a bad thing to be gay. I think that's an overall good thing, because when we look at like what actually being gay is, it's nothing bad. And it's not this simple thing that anyone can just go, you know what, I'm going to be gay today. No, the overall consensus from the scientific community is that it's made up of a bunch of different things. It's not just this, I want to be gay today. It's a lot of different, I don't know, terminology to identify like what it is. It's genetic. It's the aspects of genetic. It's hormonal. There's environmental influences. There's so much things that go into the like complex issue of sexuality. And these things that are so complex that you can't really help in your overall life because you don't choose, oh, I'm going to look at this guy a lot as a kid and then be gay if I'm a guy. That's just not actually what happens. What actually happens is just things go on in your life without you even really noticing. and then you just have attractions to different types of people. It's simple as that. And then when you find out you're in high school or middle school or whatever, and you actually have these, you're like, you know what? I'm attracted to the same sex. It's terrifying because there's nothing being taught in schools about what you're going on. You go into health class, you find out about the reproduction organs and how they work with a male and a female. You talk about how you can be attracted to these people, how to use a condom, which is like in some schools, but there's nothing going on with this like community of people that have just been demonized their entire lives. There's been so many studies on just the abuse that LGBTQ get in high school, and I think a big part of that is just a lack of education on the subject. And I think just based on those alone, like you could make a fair argument without any actual scientific reasoning of like the historics behind it, like the challenges they've overcame for putting it in schools. But I think a big one is just the bullying, harassment, and everything that goes with being LGBTQ. There's so many studies on this field that just shows how much they're affected and how it can actually hurt people. But yeah, that's why I think LGBTQ should obviously be
I think there's some popcorning going on. I don't think it's me right now because we're hearing it with me muted.
It would be my headphones because these headphones are scuffed, but they're the only ones I have.
Here, could both of you one of you mute your mic and we'll see which one it is. So I'll mute mine and then Omni mute yours, and then after you mute yours, then TikTok mute yours. Okay.
It's yours.
It's 100% yours, dude.
It's mine.
Because like I had my mic muted that entire time. It was going on. You muted and it's gone.
Well, no, it was when you were making your opening statements. I could hear it too.
I could hear it as well.
Couldn't have been me.
My mic was muted for like a few seconds. I don't know.
Thomas, can you mute yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's Thomas.
Oh shit! It actually is Thomas.
Oh,
it might be Thomas's from yours. If what I don't know. Yeah, but Thomas, it seems like TikToks. I guess it's yours.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I have no way to fix that personally, but
I may not.
Okay, we're just gonna have to deal with it for now. Oh, I know what's causing it. It's your eating. You're eating. That's what's causing it.
It's not his eating. It was going on before he was eating. It's not his eating. Or there, I guess.
Seems to correspond perfectly with his bites. Okay.
Not at all. It's not your eating.
Okay,
don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's my opening statement.
Cool. Okay, let's start the open dialogue. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, so first of all, you said that it is indoctrination, and by the definition of indoctrination, it's the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. And the critical part about that, I just don't think is like demonstrated in any scientific like idea. I think it's more based on religion and a lot of feelings. Like a lot of people just aren't used to this, so they have a lot of opinions about it because they're not used to it. It's something new. New things are scary. Everyone understands that new things are scary, but like a scary new thing shouldn't be like immediately claimed as bad. It should be studied and understood more than like what we take. Everyone, I feel like, has this idea of, wait, you like men, but you're a guy? How does like, before you actually know what like being gay is? Like everyone has this, that's weird. But something weird or not normal doesn't necessarily mean bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't agree with that statement at all. Nothing like, but that's the thing is being homosexual is, it's normalized in that community, but it's not normalized in society. It's not normalized in any aspect you look at it, no matter when if it's a societal shift or it's a shift in the way we reproduce. Being homosexual, being transsexual, or having any affiliation with the community is not a normalized thing. And if it was normalized, it wouldn't be getting as much scrutiny by society as it does. The problem I see when it comes to indoctrination in schools is, the thing about it is you have a room full of impressionable teenagers who change their emotions every 5 seconds, and then you're introducing this entirely new ideology to them, one that most adults can't even conquer, especially adults with gender dysphoria. And not only are you teaching the history, you're promoting the idea. And it's not even teaching the history that I see a problem with. It is when it is a lot of the teachers in public education are mostly left-leaning, and so not only will they teach the history, they will promote the idea. That is not a good idea. I believe in the separation between church and state. I don't believe you should be able to carry around a Bible in a public school. I don't believe you should be able to carry on a mezuzah in a public school. And neither do I believe you should be flaunting your sexuality or having to sit there and indulge ideologies based on a sexuality in a public space built upon education. I believe students already have enough issues as it is. I don't believe that this needs to be something we shove down kids' throats.
Hey, I just wanted to interject a little bit. When you aren't talking, Thomas, could you like mute your mic? That might be cool. I don't know. Just like to make sure that the popcorn doesn't like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So sorry, one sec. You say a lot of things in like you said a lot of things in that little spiel there, and I guess some of it pertains to the actual thing we're talking about. You're right. I guess I did say that it's normalized, but it's obviously not. You're right with that point. It's 100% not normalized, but I'm advocating for it to be normalized. It's normalized in the sense of look where we were 100 years ago, or not even. Like if we look at when was gay, like legalizing of gay marriage, like when was that recent? Like if you look even 20 years ago, people thought that being gay was like the worst thing you could possibly be. It's like, wow, you're deformed. Like there's something wrong with you. Yeah, that's not normalized. And it's lessened today. That's what I meant when I said normalized. But I'm arguing that it should be normalized because when you look at any study on what it is, it's not this, I choose to do this. And even if it was, I choose to do this, there should be nothing wrong with that. I don't see any problem with you liking whoever you want. I don't think that's a crazy thing. And then like second, you bring up indoctrination, which for it to be indoctrinated, it has to be, you cannot like address problems with it, but you can. So we do that. But a lot of the times we already know everything, or not everything, but we already know the intricacies of, say, gender, sex, and we can inform people on those ideas. We can inform people on what gender is. We can inform people on what sex is. We can inform people on what sexuality is. They're all three different things. A lot of people don't actually know the difference between those things. That's the best part about it. It's not indoctrination. It's just teaching something that can pertain to real life and actually affects people. That's why we would teach it. You also say that we went over this in the TikTok, but you say we shouldn't be teaching young impressionable teens something adults can't even swallow. We do that all the time. We teach young impressionable teens things they've never heard of, which you said was something apparently bad. We teach kids how to do algebra. That's pretty good. We teach kids about science. It's pretty good. We teach kids about government, things like this, things I've never really understood before. It's not this like holy thing that is just only some believe in. No, science points to it being like a correct thing. Science points to it being, it should be normalized. There's nothing wrong with being homosexual. That's why we should teach it, because we're obviously looking at problems that are happening today because it's not being taught. And the purpose of school is to pertain to real world problems and the future. And this is exactly what this issue is. It's the future. This is something that everyone should be normalizing because it's just understood as okay. The science agrees with me. That's my biggest problem, is that people say, oh, it's not like you're forcing this unratified science onto us. No, we're not. We're forcing like actual like science onto you, which I don't think is a bad thing. But anyway, you also you said something weird where adults with gender dysphoria don't even understand it, which I don't even comprehend. I don't know if you understand what gender dysphoria is, but we can go into that later. It promotes the idea. Yeah, it does promote the idea. That's the point. It's to promote the idea of sexuality and gender for people just to even know. It's not even about just like, it can pertain to straight people too. Like a lot of straight people don't even know what gender is. A lot of straight people don't even know what sex, like the differences between these things. It's just an overall education class that goes over LGBTQ issues. I don't think that's that bad. And then you bring up church and state. Nothing about this is religious. Nothing about this is religious. It has nothing to do with church and state at all. If anything, it helps with church and state.
This is where I was coming from when I said church and state. If people, especially when it comes to sexuality, people have their sexuality in their everyday lives. And a lot of people who I know who have a different sexuality or a different sexual orientation will go around pretty much bragging about it to a certain extent. It's ridiculous in a public sense. And what I meant basically, and another aspect of it is you have something not normalized in a public space. Do you expect this ideology to be opened up to basically homophobic kids, right? Or maybe a large school full of homophobic kids, and then you have that one gay guy that's like, yeah, yeah, this is awesome. I'm glad we're teaching this in school. And then that's going to open up a whole new door for fucking bullying and like this whole system of just anger. And I don't, yes, we teach a lot of hard subjects in school. Slavery is hard to swallow. However, slavery is not a present day issue. We teach a lot of things in school that's hard to swallow for our past generations, but it's not something we have to issue. Sexuality in our modern day time is an issue. It's an issue that society deals with in its whole. It's an issue that society has to swallow and then pass on and normalize, which I'm perfectly okay with. I can't carry a Bible in school. I don't expect anyone to carry a Bible in school. I don't expect everyone to preach their sexuality or religious views in a public education space. I shouldn't allow a kid to go into a school and spout their political views, which is also another reason why I don't believe it should be taught in school. It's going to do nothing but spark up endless political debates in a public classroom where it doesn't need to be occurring. And as stupid as it sounds, and I know my argument isn't that valid through public opinion, I can obviously see that in the chat, but it just doesn't seem very like logical in my opinion. And I'm not opposed to learning about it. I see it as a weapon more than a tool.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I would suggest turning off YouTube chat because those guys are just probably fucking idiots. Like 𝗷𝗚𝗏𝗏. That guy's just stupid. But anyway.
Wait, what?
anyway.
I don't think I could do that.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not you, but I mean like TikTok to just not look at it.
Oh yeah,
not you, Panini, not you.
Don't
But anyway, so I don't see the idea of people shouldn't flaunt their sexuality. Yeah, you could say it's a bit rude to flaunt your sexuality, but comparing it to like holding a Bible in school, I don't think that's a necessary comparison. Like you can even, I believe you can even hold a Bible in school, right? Like I don't think that's a thing that goes. It could be. I honestly don't know, but I don't think that's bad. It's the idea of like, hey, don't be a dick in school. Like I just think flaunting your sexuality is just kind of rude. I don't think it should be like bannable and like it's a horrible thing because of that. Like, and that's just anecdotal evidence in itself. Not everyone does that. You can meet a lot of cool gay people that don't just tell you they're gay every 5 fucking seconds. Like it's this crazy idea. Compare and just the overall ridiculousness of comparing it to religion is just, this isn't religion. Religion is something that is quoting like more or less illogical. Like it is by definition illogical, and conflating it with something that is purely based on logic and is just baffling. Honestly, it's just the reason we're having these classes is to normalize it. Sure, there might be a bit of backlash at the beginning that can increase bullying, but overall, educating people on a topic normalizes it and makes it so people don't bully. Like that's it. We can obviously see the ramifications of not teaching about it with the bullying statistics we have right now. I could link a few if you want, but the biggest part about this is to normalize it so people don't get bullied.
Wouldn't you agree though that with all the Pride stuff going on, especially since we have a whole month dedicated to it, that there's enough education being brought onto the subject? My main problem is if it had better self-representation, I would be saying completely different words right now. But the way that we represent homosexual people is absurd. We make them seem like monsters. We make them seem like they are on a completely different fucking planet from us, and it makes it hard for that to intertwine.
It seems like you're agreeing with my point with that. Yeah, you could say the optics right now are bad, so let's educate them on what it actually is. It sounds perfect.
Okay, listen, as a kid who has been heavily bullied in his life, I don't support any of that. That's why I was never doing it in school. I was never a part of that group that went around and said the F word to gay people and like all that spiel. My school had their own little section of those kids, but the issue is that in a lot of small towns, and I've been to a lot of schools in my life. I hopped around California, I hopped around Arizona, I hopped around Illinois, where I'm currently sitting at, and dude, it's just the amount of homophobic kids that would take that and blow it out of proportion more than it needs to be is ridiculous. And as a high schooler myself, who actually schools in that environment has to see those types of people, even in leftist run schools, it's a problem way greater than what most people think it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I seriously agree. I think there's a shit ton of homophobic people out there, like especially in like the Midwestern places like that. Like you'll find a lot of homophobic people in school, and I think introducing this subject would, of course, get a bunch of backlash and maybe harm those people. But the reasoning for doing something isn't in the immediate effect, it's in the after effect as well. Like, we have to compare the problems. Okay, yes, that could happen. And then say we could increase like schooling and just how to like cater for those children that are being bullied and like stop bullying in there. But if we increase these classes down the line, you're not going to have these homophobic kids, simply because the reason these kids are homophobic is because they don't understand about the subject. That's a reason people are homophobic. They just don't understand. They think being gay, like you said, is a choice. It's not a choice. It's defined in our character. That's who we are. This isn't something that like we can change. We can't really change who we are on the drop of a dime, just like we can't change our sexuality at the drop of a dime. That's the reason we implement these things. Is because we want people to stop being homophobic. We want to educate people on what these ideas actually are. Like, your example is kind of helping me to an extent, because we what's the best way to normalize something? Educating about it. Yeah, of course. At the worst time, slavery was like being like people like slaves were being attacked was when slaves were trying to be abolished. Like when the message of, hey, maybe slaves are people, that was the worst time for slaves. But the message, we should not give that message, because that message is correct. That message is to help those slaves in the future. Yes, there might be a bit of backlash, but that backlash is justified in the ends. The ends sometimes justify the means when it comes to something like this, because it's just the overall benefit I could have of educating people. Like that argument is just not valid.
See, but where I'm, finding fault is that the kids my age, kids that are my age and kids that are a little bit older than me, they're not open-minded like that. In 20 years, they're probably, especially with where they come from and what environment they're built in, they're probably not going to look back and go, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to hate on gay people. That's why we have hate groups literally dedicated to homosexuals. Like it's not as simple as that. The kids that are in these schools, the backlash will happen, and it will happen at a fierce rate. And even in like the transgender community and stuff like that, they have like a suicide rate of like 41%. Like, like that's crazy, bro. That should.
It is crazy.
But I feel, and yes, I'm not denying that education will not lead to normalization. Education will certainly lead to normalization. I'm afraid at the pace that it will lead to normalization. I don't want it to have to lead to normalization in 100 years. I don't want it to have to take 100 years. I believe, the kids that don't like homosexuals will continue to not like homosexuals as long as their parents feed them that garbage. As we all know, influence is also a big part of the issue. And then their peers at school. Two biggest things underlined in a kid's influence when it comes to judging other people. And we put this ideology, and you cannot change my mind on this. Sexuality, in my opinion, is nothing more than an ideology that can be shifted into a lifestyle at a certain point in time. Once you actually learn and harvest the information that is needed to actually compute with that, I believe at a certain age, you shouldn't be allowed to determine your sexuality. I don't think the mind works like that. I'm not sure what I am, and I probably won't for a while. The most common thing that I see as a high schooler and with personal experience is kids, like I said, changing their sexuality and trying to change their sexual orientation at the drop of a dime. Every single time their emotions change, or every single time a trend comes into play. It's the kids who either want attention, or it's the kids who simply just don't feel like they fit in and they want to fit in. It's not always entirely about what can I do to make myself happier. It is about what can I do to either further my public ego, or what can I do to fit in with the general populace. And sometimes that is the case.
Okay. Yeah, I don't deny that those people are out there. I don't know to the extent of which they're out there. I think that's a big anecdotal evidence on your part where you're just going off your own personal experience. But yeah, I won't disagree that those people are out there. But this crazy idea. The best way to resolve that issue is to teach about it. Because if you teach what gender identity is, if you teach what sexuality is, if you teach what sex is, these people are going to go, oh, wait, if I do that, that's kind of really like hurting the people that actually go through these issues. Like, sure, it can be placed on a podium now, but it's not really. There's still a lot of like homophobia going around in the United States. Sure, it's cool for the woke left to people be able to see, oh, being gay is so fucking cool. I want to be gay. But that's just because they're misinformed. Like, we don't. So you gave the idea of there are these people that will never have their minds changed. Like, if we started introducing classes now, the people who are your age that are homophobic won't have their minds changed. And I'm not sure that everyone would not have mind change, but the implementation of these schoolings is to change the ones coming after that. Yes, parents are a big thing that influence what a lot of political decisions are made on, but to change those parents is to educate those parents. And the best way to educate those parents is to educate future parents. That's the biggest problem with all of this. But we have to continue because things weren't built in a day. Things that drastically changed the world weren't changed in a day. We didn't say, you know what? The earth isn't the center of the universe, guys. And everyone was like, oh shit, fuck, he's right. No, a lot of people disavowed that, but we taught it because it was right. We taught it so that the future children could go, oh, that's correct. And then they taught their children, and so on and so on. That's why things like that get normalized. That's the purpose of this. And then also this crazy fucking sexuality is a choice you could have, the drop of a dime. Nothing supports that. Like, you say, I cannot change your mind, but your mind is based off of nothing except right now it seems like your feelings. Like, literally, it just seems like I feel like this is correct, so I'm going to believe it. You don't have any reasoning to believe that. Like, you might see these people and you go, oh, they changed their sexuality. They don't actually change their sexuality. That's not what happens. They're just trying to be woke.
I think for me, it's not even just that. I mean, for someone who travels all across the United States like myself, if I'm seeing it all around, yes, I understand. My opinion is purely based off of what I've experienced. But as someone who travels and someone who sees that all the time, you can, and I say this you debunk this in your own head, but you would only assume based on seeing it all the time that it's common enough. And those kids who make fun of gay people, who make fun of transphobic people, dude, I don't think they're gonna change.
I'm not trying to get them to change. I'm trying to get the people after them to change. Like, sure, if they change their mind, that's fucking phenomenal, but I'm not trying to get them to change.
But see, that's where our problem intertwines, is if they're not changing, the issue isn't being resolved.
Wait, but it is being resolved. Wait, but it's exactly being resolved. The issue of this current modern day, that's just because of the teaching beforehand. But the teaching now, it is being resolved. Like, tomorrow's children are going to be resolved because they're going to be taught these things. That gets rid of the entire problem.
See, and when suicide rates for homosexual people go up a shit ton because those kids who bullied them in high school are now bullying them at a greater extent because they simply don't understand the problem or they don't feel like learning. If a kid who simply is not interested in being gay and feels like bullying those people does not want to learn that subject, they won't. Those kids are likely not to change. And the ones that do, I wish you Godspeed in changing. But I do not believe in the slightest that a kid who is dedicated to just not being intertwined with that culture, I don't believe they're going to change one bit.
Okay, so we have to talk about the idea of change, because you're saying, oh, they're not changing, therefore we shouldn't even introduce it because this problem would spike. I want you to address what I said about the slavery issue. When slavery was brought up, when the first idea of slavery being bad was brought up, do you think the conditions of those slaves around the state were worsened?
Sorry, repeat that. You cut out like really bad right there.
Oh, my bad. So when we talk about change, we have to talk about what actually happens. When the idea of slaves were equal, like blacks were equal to whites and we should end slavery, when that was brought out, do you think like there were repercussions with that action? Like, do you think there were consequences with that action that kind of hurt the slaves a bit more than it helped?
Are you going to suggest that you can compare shit that happened in the 1820s and 30s to a modern day issue, especially with the technological implications that we've made? It's not exactly
Wait, no, it's exactly that. What's different about teaching people that slavery is wrong to teaching people that LGBTQ issues,
because if you
like
understand
teaching them
the history of the Confederacy or the history of the Union, you already know that both of those parties.
Wait, this has nothing to do about the Confederacy or Union. This has nothing to do with it.
If you knew anything about that when slavery was going on, you'd know that both of those parties were in complete opposition of slavery. In fact, most of the
Wait, dude, what are you going off on this tangent for? That's nothing to do with the conversation. Literally nothing.
You're talking about.
No, I can use a different example if you're going to go into the Confederacy and Union, but that's a different conversation. We can talk about the Earth not being the center of the universe, something I also brought up in the TikTok. Do you think when people started saying 𝗙𝗘𝗃𝗁𝗍, when he said, didn't Galileo say the moon revolved around the Earth? Or like, no, Galileo was the one that said the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Dude was fucking locked in his house for saying that. Like, he was under arrest in his own residence for saying what we now know as the truth. Do you think it was wrong for him to tell people that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe?
I feel like when it comes down to public opinion, yeah, it was wonderful. But you're also failing to realize he did get punished for that. The problem is that no matter what his version of education was, he tried to educate the people on what he knew was right. And
Okay, so do you think it was wrong for him to teach?
And people still continue to think that after that.
That's not true. What do you mean? He was the basis for what made us believe that the universe wasn't the center of the universe, or the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. He was the basis. He was the reasoning we had this. Actually, I think it was someone before that he looked at the notes for. It was something weird, like some guy like copied Galileo's stuff. He died, and then he only released it after he died. But whatever about that. But anyway, he was the basis for why we believe the Earth wasn't the center. He did the science to prove this idea. And saying, oh, you know what? He did die. Like he got arrested. Does that? You haven't addressed the idea of should he have not have come out with that information? Can you tell me that?
I believe that information would have been scientifically discovered and established no matter how anyone went about it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you say it would have been discovered. We don't know how long after. It could have been years. So now let's take this exact same issue of something being correct that people don't know about and then attribute harm to it. So if somebody does not know X, so X is a piece of information. And if somebody doesn't know X, person Y is going to be harmed. Do you think that we should teach X so that Y isn't harmed?
Like I said, I believe there's damning factors in both of those holes. There's definitely downfalls to both of them.
Wait, dude, this is just a hypothetical. This is literally just a hypothetical. So if we taught X and we helped Y, should we do it?
Did you not pick up on my opening statement when I said I don't completely disagree with the education of LGBTQ studies. I'm worried about one, the indoctrination provided with the education, because you can't deny that.
I think we lost him. Did he lose me?
Did he freeze?
Yeah, he froze.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Okay, we'll wait for him to come back. Okay.
Okay. Hopefully I'll come back. Oh no. Really?
Oh.
Love that beautiful mugshot.
Yeah, I know, right? He does look rather. I mean, I don't know how old he is, so I'm actually gonna not say that.
Everyone's commenting about his dimples.
Don't. Hey, you listen, YouTube. No, stop that. Okay? Stop attacking people on their appearance. Okay, that's not based. You're not being based right now. Okay, chill.
True. Don't talk about people's appearance. Not based, unbased, very bad, cringe.
Unbased cringe.
Oh, he left. Oh shoot.
He'll be back. His internet just fucked up or something.
Okay.
Oh god, I'm gonna forget everything you fucking said. So let me put this in perspective. His only argument is that it's gonna hurt the LGBTQ of today, therefore we shouldn't teach it. Right? Okay. I think that's what no one answered that. I'm just asking that to myself. Wait, what the fuck? I'm so stupid. Wait, if I brought up god, okay, just talking to myself, no one answered.
Okay.
If I brought up the Galileo and he said, "Oh, it'll be discovered later," then the same problem applies. If it's discovered later, he said the science will be discovered later. The science was already discovered. If it's discovered later, the exact same problem is going to happen. Where if you try to teach it, it's going to get like people are going to have backlash. What the fuck is wrong with me? That was so fucking obvious. I'm so mad. I don't do as good in debates. I mean, I do, but sometimes he just says so much shit that I have to address that I forget what I'm saying. Whatever.
Hopefully I'll come back.
I need to stop looking at chat. I'm getting too many good ideas. Stop it. Fuck. This is my debate. Everyone needs to shut the fuck up and only put smiley faces in the chat. That's what they need to do. Colon parentheses. Only smiley faces. Listen to Omni. If I see any colon parentheses but the frowny face,
you're getting timed out.
We'll see what happens.
You're getting blocked for 5 minutes.
Colon smiley faces. There we go.
Okay, I love you. Thanks for joining the stream.
Hey, Aggie.
Hey. None of that.
But the funny part is Aggie's gonna get fucking destroyed in the fandom debate, which is funny.
True.
Okay? Literally true.
True though. I don't think anyone in our audience is gonna understand what that meant.
I know, but I'm fine with it.
Debates. Yeah.
You know what? If you joined our Discord server, maybe then you would understand. See all you losers who haven't joined the Discord server?
All you losers haven't joined,
you would be immediately unloserfied if you joined.
Yeah, true. Unloserfied, what a word. Okay, I'm gonna message him, see if what's going on with him.
Okay.
He's on his phone now.
Yeah, he's on his phone now. Well,
or was he on his phone originally? Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back. Perfect.
There you are. There's Thomas. There's Thomas.
This app is having a stroke, dude.
Honestly, probably the reason your mic is messed up is simply just because of the app. But whatever.
Yeah.
Do you do your TikToks on your phone?
Yeah, mainly.
Okay, because it sounds good, so I don't know why this one's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to it. So
I completely forgot what you were saying, so please continue.
Okay, so like I said, and maybe my point may not be as valid to you as it is to me, but I simply don't believe it'll help the situation. And do I want it? Have you educated me further on why it should be educated? Yes, absolutely. And I value your opinion on that, and I will definitely admit that. But at the end of the day, being someone who goes to high school and seeing the people that I see, I just don't see it personally helping the situation. I don't see. I believe it's indoctrination. Almost propaganda at a certain level for kids who simply reject the idea of being homosexual.
Okay, so we'll address two things you said. The first one is the whole you gotta stop saying indoctrination. We indoctrinate everything if we talk about school like that. Like the indoctrination of mathematics. Like we teach that not because people want to be taught mathematics, but because it's essential. You know, that's why we would teach LGBTQ studies, because it's essential. And I would argue that it is based on everything that I've given, and nothing you've really given has disproved that. But anyway, we can talk about now why you think it won't help the situation. You think it won't help because it'll harm the ones of today. And before I go into what I think the solution should be, I think it's clearly obvious, but could you tell me what you think the solution should be?
As far as fixing the solution, I believe we should attack the problem where I believe it lies, and that I believe it lies in the actual homophobic people in the community that make it impossible for homosexual people to be themselves freely. Because schools, they let it slide almost, and it's ridiculous. I'm sure you could probably agree with that to a certain extent. Public schools,
yeah, of course I agree with that. Yeah,
public schools, they will let that slide. If you want to make fun of a gay person, you could do that with all your might.
Yeah.
And normally they won't do anything about it.
So I agree with everything you said, but none of that was a solution. So what do you think a solution should be? Okay, I understand why it's hard for you, because we run into the exact same problem of implementing LGBTQ studies we do with everything. If we get school to harden down on LGBTQ like a homophobia, the people are gonna be more homophobic. Like it's gonna result in more that's the problem. We have to think. Of course, harm is going to come from a new idea. That's just what new ideas do. Yeah. When we look at this harm, no matter what, there's going to be it when something new is introduced, and something new is always introduced when it's something correct that was used to be wrong. Like that's just the problem. So I think the best solution is to just do LGBTQ studies. It increases the knowledge as the most we can possibly be, and the harm would eventually be drowned out by everyone being informed. Like that's the problem. You cannot avoid this harm, so let's do it now so more people aren't harmed. Because the longer we go without action is going to result in more deaths. Because the suicide is led by bullying in high school. I think you can agree with that.
That's not always the case. In fact, there's actually a lot of things that suggest the exact opposite. In places like the African American community, where they are supposedly one of the most oppressed groups in America, where their suicide rate is only 4%, or in other communities where their suicide rate are significantly lower than what the LGBTQ community is. What I believe is happening is someone, say like a transgender, they transition, they don't get the attention they want, they feel like they're worthless to the world, and they commit suicide. I don't feel like the suicide rate in the LGBTQ community is actually caused from bullying. I believe it's a completely separate issue that's only notioned on the idea that suicide rates for other minority groups or other groups in general are just completely low.
Okay, so You're making the conflation between LGBTQ and black people essentially.
No, I'm making the difference.
Minority groups.
It's an
Yeah,
oppression.
because you say they don't commit as much suicide, therefore bullying is obviously not the cause. Well, I don't think this is just a guess. I don't think you have any studies on the bullying blacks have because they're black. I don't know if you realize,
that dismantles racism, though, doesn't it? If they're not bullied because they're black, what is the
wait?
issue
I think it happens, of course, but to the extent of LGBTQ in a place like high school, if you go to high school, you're gonna find a lot more people saying the F word than people just saying the N word. Do you agree with that?
No, that's false.
Wait, you think more people say the N word than the F word?
Dude, they're both very common things. You're gonna see minority groups and homosexuals or transgenders bullied at quite frankly the same rate.
Wait. So you say that, but what's your basis for saying that? Because I have statistics, literal statistics. I could give you like 27% of LGBTQ cannot identify as themselves. Like they can't define themselves because of the bullying in high school. 73% have received information. Wait. 73% have experienced verbal threats because of their actual perceived LGBTQ identity. Like you can't give me these statistics of black people.
Can you give me the statistics on how many of those threats are actually carried out? Can you give me the basis?
Wait, how many what are carried out?
Can you give me the statistics on how many threats are actually handled or?
Wait. So I don't know if you know how threats work, but if somebody says I'm going to fucking kill you, but they don't actually kill you, that can still cause harm.
I'm sure it can, but it's heavily dependent on the person at hand.
What? Wait, we're not talking about the action. Wait, so first of all, we're not even talking about the action of the threats. It's the idea of threats themselves. So when we talk, wait, because you said something really stupid, and you basically said people bully black people for being black just as much as LGBTQ, if not more, I believe is what you said. So could you please give me a statistic showing that? Because I can give you statistics on how fucking much the LGBTQ are bullied for being LGBTQ. I couldn't find I don't think I could find a single statistic on black people being bullied for being black in high school.
Then I want you to tell me one thing. So tell me why the inflation of racism is such a big issue in our country, but not the huge LGBTQ problem.
Wait,
if you're seeing more issues with LGBTQ people being bullied than blacks, which is pretty much what you're hinting at here, since you're pretty much telling me that you can't find a statistic that disproves what I'm saying, I want you to tell me why we have such a race issue in our country, but not an LGBTQ issue.
So I want you to know this is a complete tangent. Tangent to what we were talking about. I can go into it, of course. Like I believe that they are both huge issues. One, because they are both kind of discriminated against for something they cannot really control. We have a lot of homophobic tendencies in like the political system, but that's a completely separate debate. But basically, systematic racism exists. There's been studies to prove that systematic racism exists. I could go into those on any day of the week. But besides that, you made the claim that it is equal. I gave you a claim that, hey, look at this huge huge disproportion. Okay, well, let me continue. I gave you this huge idea of this. Look at this disproportionate amount of bullying that goes on in the LGBTQ community compared to like other children, and like, I don't know what you're asking. Oh, well, you didn't disprove what I said. That's because you didn't say anything. You just said something that you felt was correct without anything to back it up.
Because there's not a basis statistic out there for how many black people are being bullied.
Then why make the claim? There's nothing to make that claim if you don't have anything to prove it up. Like you're saying, like that's like me saying, hey, guess what? All cops are killers? Lamau, because I believe so. Can I prove it? No, but it's true. You can't disprove it. Lamau.
Okay, so what is the basis on proving LGBTQ mistreatment? Is that on specific references or specific people coming forward and saying this is happening? So how are we expected to prove any of those statistics based on personal experience? They're pretty much saying that since I have no statistics.
Wait, do you think everybody lied about it?
Oh yeah, there's definitely that group. I'm not saying the large majority would, but there's definitely probably at least 4 to at least 8% shaved off of that for people who genuinely misperceive.
So I know this. Do you know what standard deviation is? It's like allowed margin of error, but in between studies. Like you're right now. You got to be careful right now with what you're saying. This is extremely anti-intellectual talking because you're basically saying we shouldn't trust these studies because it's people giving the answers. And people aren't perfect. People lie sometimes. What's the reasoning for them lying? To be woke? Like that's obviously not going to be everyone. We have to take these polls as like a pretty decent way of understanding the subject, because that's all we really have. Sociology is this idea of we take into people's problems, and we have to look at them based off of people's problems. Yes, everyone could be lying, but if we go off that assumption, what can we do? Literally nothing in the field.
But here's the thing: there's that small portion of group that lies. There is that small portion of group that can't differentiate the difference between bullying and not bullying. So that group where you look at them the wrong way and they feel threatened, which is absolutely ridiculous.
So I'm gonna have to wait. You said something dumb. So I'm gonna have to repeat exactly what I said. 73% have experienced verbal threats because of their actual perceived LGBTQ identity. You know what 73 verbal means? It's not look at you differently. It's actively verbalizing my distaste for you.
You see, but here's the thing: is you can perceive anything as a verbal threat. I could say a dark humorous joke, and that could be considered a verbal threat. And there is no way that all 73% of those were actually verbally threatened on like a I'm going to physically hurt you level. I agree that is a problem, but it just doesn't. Yeah, let's be realistic about this.
Wait, what do you mean realistic? So you're basically just saying your entire ability to disprove this study it was a joke, 𝗷𝗚𝗡𝗚.
No, I'm saying that is definitely a portion of it.
Do you know how much? Like, what's the like? This is extremely anti-intellectual talking right now. You're disavowing a study because of an attribute that could happen. You know, this actually could have happened. Therefore, we should just throw the study away. No, because that could happen in every single aspect of what studies we give. Oh, you gave me an idea of like how much like what their favorite ice cream was. Well, they could have been lying because guess what? Maybe they like chocolate instead of vanilla. You know what I mean?
Are you comparing giving the flavor of an ice cream to
because your argument is the exact same. It is directly analogous. It's the idea of somebody could lie about it. Therefore, we shouldn't take it into account.
So are we going to believe everyone, or are we going to...
We're going to believe study. This is a huge fucking study. 12,000 participants. Like, the margin of error with 12,000 participants, I don't even know. Because I'm not a statistical guy. I understand the basics.
We're going to believe the emotionally deprived kids who go to a public school and, like, do endure a large portion of verbal abuse. And I will admit that on a certain degree. So, but... what that does is it leaves a wide open door.
Wait, you just agreed with me. You said they probably experienced verbal abuse.
Yeah. No, listen. It opens. Wait, what? You're not hearing me here. It opens up
okay, sorry. Go ahead.
It opens up a wide door for those individuals who can lie about it and who can say, "Oh, well, yes, I experienced it, and therefore." You know, that's immediately thrown into the statistic. I would feel more comfortable if a person, you know, actually had proof that this was going on instead of personal claims. And
could there ever be proof for that? Like, could you ever get proof?
Yeah, it's called having cameras, audio in school. That's a perfect advantage schools can have on tackling the issue. Most schools don't do that. Most schools just turn a blind eye to this type of thing.
Wait. So if we're just talking pragmatically, do you understand the cost of that? And this is just to identify if they have actually been threatened because we don't trust their words. Do you understand the ridiculousness of that claim? That we're going to take this small sample of people just going, I lied because I want to be woke, which we don't even know exists. You cannot prove that it exists. You can't prove the amount of people that actually do it. I can give you a decent enough reasoning to understand why it's not happening. That's what margin of error for and the standard deviation of like what the statistic means. I can give you a reasoning for this, but you're saying that to prove this study, because you don't believe it, because people could be lying, 12,000 people, a huge amount apparently has to be lying about that, is the case. They have no motive to actually lie because no one's going to hear the response to this audio. No one's going to hear the response to this. It's literally just like going onto a poll with no one around you and then just answering the question. You're going to tell me that to actively get this statistic, we have to be monitoring these cameras 24/7 or recording and playing it back 24/7 to be able to understand the threats going off. This is highly unpragmatic. And the best way to get this actual answer isn't to put a shit ton of money into it to answer something that we can answer already with a little bit of deviation.
See, that's the thing though. You put cameras in your school, you get someone that claims it's a threat, and then you look over camera footage to make sure that it was actually a threat.
So pragmatic, is every kid gonna be like mic'd up? Is that like, you know, the NFL mic'd up, like when we see the videos, like is every kid gonna be fucking mic'd up on their shirt?
But if you run a school, I would expect you to have cameras in at least every other hallway, if not
every. Wait, okay, so you yourself, you said you've been traveling around a lot. has your school, you know, when like classes are ending and not even classes ending, classes are ending, and then you go to the next class, is it dead fucking silent except for that one fucking homophobic threat?
I think from personal, and like I said, this is going to be another personal thing. I'm not going to get into specific because this is something that I'm not allowed to say in public. But yes, I was in a lunchroom full of about 60 other kids when I said something absolutely ridiculous, and the mic happened to pick up my voice. So yes, in those specific situations, that is something that can happen.
Yeah, can happen, but do you think it will happen if, say, you're walking down a busy hallway and you could have been right next to the fucking camera for all I care? Like, I don't know your exact situation, but do you understand that, like, oh, you're not going to be able to hear everything that goes on in the hallways? I could probably go into a crowded school lunch area, make sure I'm not close to any cameras. I could be in the middle of the fucking lunchroom and say, I hate gay people, and then boom, they're not going to fucking hear it. That's not how audio tech or cameras work. One, because even if the audio could actively hear that, there's going to be even more noise it's picking up that is not. They're not going to be able to differentiate between that. Like, this is a crazy claim for why we can't trust this study of 12,000 people. It's kind of ridiculous.
Wait, 12,000 people? What?
Students, I guess.
12,000 students. Okay, so what is that? What is that percentage among the actual group of LGBTQ people?
Wait, why does that matter? You know how studies are like done? Like you don't have to get like 100% of the people. There's like studies are done where like you can get a margin of people, and then it just kind of gives an accurate example.
12,000 people sounds like less than 10% of the community.
Wait. So I like a quick Google search. Like what's a good sample size for study? Like I think it's like 1,000. A good maximum sample size, usually 10%, as long as it does not exceed 1,000. A good maximum sample size, usually around 10% of the population, as long as it does not exceed 1,000. For example, a population of 5,000, 10% would be 500, and a population of 200,000 would be 220. How did you sample size for the challenge? Yikes. Like yeah, I think I read a good study where it was like the best sample size is like I think 1,000 or something, because like anything more than that isn't going to give you like the only differentiate is going to be like a fraction of a percent. Like that's the difference you're going to get with more people. Like that's just it. It's like a fraction of a fraction. Like that's just how statistics work. Oh,
did he freeze again?
You know what they say.
Oh no!
God, if only he had fucking cameras in his room, then we'd be able to see it.
Oh shit!
Make sure he doesn't say any threats online. You know what I mean, guys?
I'm pretty sure I looked it up. The best sample size is 30 people, apparently.
I know for a fact that's not fucking.
That's the minimum one or whatever minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah, everyone's spamming in chat. I don't know. I think I logged that again. We have like 5 more minutes of open dialogue, and then we move on into questions.
I can't believe how fucking far away this pivoted. I can't.
The conversation did go pretty far, but I mean, I was going to intervene, but then I'm like,
yeah, don't intervene. Don't intervene.
I'm not gonna do it. Here, everyone, in about 5 minutes, we're going to be opening up the questions channel on Based Leftists Discord to open questions for all of you viewers, all you lovely viewers, to go ask questions for both of our debaters. The questions preferably would be related to the topic, but if you want to ask like really off-topic questions, you can. Also, if you want to basically join the Discord, the link's in the description. I will be opening the channel in a few minutes after they're finished with the open dialogue, and you guys can ask your questions. Yeah, for sure. Please go click the link in the description, though, if you're not already on the Based Leftist Discord. Okay, that's good.
Oh, my brain can't handle it.
Okay, everyone, the questions channel is open on Based Leftists Discord. Please ask your questions. I'll save some and give them to the debaters. We still have a bit of open dialogue left, but he should be coming back. Yeah, and that's Speak of the Devil. He's right there. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm sorry, guys, for all these technical difficulties. There we go. Wow. Okay. Crazy.
Welcome back.
Again.
So what happens when I run this program for too long, it'll either freeze and like boot me out of it one way, or it will heat up my phone to the point where my phone's like, hey, you need to cool down your phone, and it won't let me use it.
If I had to guess, it'd probably be 30-minute intervals because it seems like that's like the time frame it's been going. Because you had it on a bit before the debate started, and then Indian Panini just said there was like 5 minutes left. So that seems like
Yeah,
it's
we got
restarted
about 5
twice,
minutes.
and it's been basically an hour. So
Yeah.
So can you repeat that? You just cut out.
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left of open dialogue, and then we're going to move into questions.
Oh no, I lost for sure. I definitely take the elements.
whoa, it's not
Hey,
about winning or
hey,
losing.
it's not
Like
about
that's what I
winning.
fucking hate. Why can't people understand that debates
Well,
aren't this fucking? I'm gonna go your
yeah.
topic, you're gonna go mine. I want to change people's minds. It's so fucking frustrating. I think being ignorant and being just fucking dumb are like sorry. You can be identified as the same thing. Being ignorant and just not knowing about a subject is completely different than actively not fucking caring. That's what I think is the worst.
And
Right now, I'm not gonna lie, TikTok. You seem like a cool guy, but it really seems like you're the latter.
Yeah, well, even in this situation, like I haven't lost respect for anyone in the debate tonight. Of course, everyone has their own opinions towards different things, and I've certainly been educated a little bit enough to know that I could probably open my mind up to the possibility of teaching LGBTQ studies in school, which I value. Of course, it's always great to learn. There are certain points and issues which I still keep my mind on, and I do want to tackle. Definitely want to tackle bullying, which is definitely a big thing.
Okay, but I guess are you still opposed to putting LGBTQ studies in school?
I would say you definitely turned me neutral on it.
Okay, neutral. But why are you neutral and not AF? Like, why are you neutral and not for it?
Just because I want to actually dip into some research myself and just kind of overturn everything. I'm not saying I disagree with you.
Okay, that's better.
I agree.
I'm so happy you said that, and that's because you're fucking wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I'm right because I've researched this shit so fucking much. And I think you'll hopefully find the same. Like I think that's the best answer you could possibly give. It's just I will research it on my own to see if I'm right or wrong. That's the best thing to do. You can have your mind change. You can have your mind like influenced because I could tell like as soon as when we started going out, be careful with the study thing because you could disavow the entire sociological like anything.
Yeah.
You could argue about like what's the income of what's the income of Americans? Like some of that stuff can come from polls. Why wouldn't they just lie? You know, like this idea of they just lied, Lamau, is awful mindset to have because you can do that with every study.
I actually have an interesting thing, and since we're kind of in overtime here because the debate's about to end. So my main statistic for that specific argument that I made was, and this is going to sound really ridiculous, I used this kind of out of like a quick thing because I didn't have my statistics for that specific thing set up, was, you know, our sexual assault stuff that's going on when we have like 2 to 10% of false rape allegations, right? Approved by the CDC. Well, it turns out that it's probably around 40% false accusations, but we can't prove those because those are undecided claims. Those are ones that say we can't prove which way or the other. And then there's that 2 to 10% that's going, yeah, they're definitely lying about it. So I feel like in any large hot button debate like that, there's always going to be that minority group that just plain lies about something.
Wait, whoa! You have to actually be careful because this 2 to 10 of I'm not completely. I know sort of what you're talking about because I've heard people in like the base leftist chat talk about it, and they're so much more educated on me than I am. But this 2 to 10%, I think that's like active. Like, oh, they were convicted of, or like they were proven to be lying, and then you go 40%. No, you cannot say, well, maybe they were right. No, you fucking can't.
Well, no, that's not what
can't.
I'm saying that those are.
The insinuation was there. I'm not gonna lie. That's all I got.
Those are 40% undecided cases. Those are 40%. Like the judge can give his 2 cents on it, but there's nothing really that can be done. There's no.
I think when you say undecided, it is lack of like evidence or something. That doesn't mean that it was fake.
Undecided case. There's no evidence going which way to which way. But the Justice Department suggested that number would have gone up from 2 to 10% to probably 10 to probably at least 25 or 30%.
2 to 10 to 4 to 25, 30 if those were deemed like wrong.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you know, in a society where you know, sexual assault claims are thrown left and right, I feel like that's
wait, what? That's not true at all. It's a fraction of a fraction percent. Sexual assault claims are being thrown out.
Of the United States has 40 plus pending, and I don't.
Fuck yeah, he does, and a lot of them can be seen as well. I know that he's literally fucking admitted to sexually assaulting someone. You know that, right?
Dude, yeah, but that's the thing about it though. You get a rich.
Here, this is going kind of off topic. I don't wanna
Okay,
get
yeah, sorry. Okay, let's go to the questions. Let's go to the questions.
Let's go to the questions from the audience. I want to make this pretty short and sweet and concise. We'll ask a question. I guess the person will answer, and then I just make sure you answer in a shorter, concise manner where you're answering the question directly. If the opponent disagrees at any point, they can, after they've made their answer, respond to it. I don't want to get like a debate on every single question. So if you're making a response, try to keep it quick. We won't do any like counter responses or anything like that. Just answer the question, and if the other person disagrees, make a response to it. Okay. Hopefully there'll be a variety of questions for each side. Let's start with Aggie's question. Why did you keep defining sexuality as an ideology instead of, sexuality?
I assume that's for Thomas, right?
I don't believe
Yeah,
it's rocket science. I don't believe it's rocket science to change your sexuality, especially for the younger generation. I don't believe it's really that hard at all. I feel like for people who struggle with those issues, it may be slightly difficult. But for students around my age, like I said, who like to change their sexuality at the drop of a dime over their emotions, I team it as an ideology and less as a actual sexuality.
Okay, do you disagree with that, Omni?
Yes. As I said, yes, there can be those woke individuals that change their sexuality at the drop of a dime. I believe that is a fraction percent of actual people, and I think that's a bunch of anecdotal evidence you're using to support your claim. And I think if we found a study, it could probably be disproven. But I also think that if those individuals exist, the best way to get rid of it is through just education. And I think the ideology part, like, just because these people deem it as fake, or like these people fake it, doesn't mean it's fake. You should refer to it as sexuality, because this ideology of, oh, well, some people like change their gender, or some people just change at the drop of a dime, that doesn't mean it's actually the case. Just please stop referring to it as an ideology, because you yourself have conceded that it is not this thing you can change at the drop of a dime. It's just those certain woke individuals that do so.
Okay, that's awesome. So now I want to remind the audience and remind 𝗷𝗚𝗏, who's wonderfully pinning these messages. Try not to do messages for messages from more than one people. Try not to do multiple messages from the same person. I will try to do one message per person so that we can get a wide variety of different questions. That's just all I have to say about that. From Yumeko, Thomas. So basically, this is literally about the debate. I'm not gonna ask that one. This one's for Omni. Omni, how's your day going today?
Dude, my day's going fucking awful. So first of all, me and my girlfriend were planning on getting dinner. She'd go out to her friends. I'd go out with I do this. That's what we had planned. And that was it. Because she was like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with my friends tonight. I was like, oh, sick. Okay, I'll do the debate today. I texted TikTok and I was like, oh, let's do it Tuesday. I'm free that day. That's perfect. I get off at work at 7 because I landscape, so I work basically 7 to 7, depending on when we get the job done. So that's what happened. And then lo and behold, at 2 p.m. they cancel. So she's like, I'm sad. And of course, I'm like, you gotta simp for your girlfriend, So I was this close to actually being like, hey, maybe 𝗷𝗏𝗏 can jump in for me or something, or someone else can jump in for me so I can be with my girlfriend. But I decided not to because she actually got ice cream with her parents. Thank you, parents. But anyway, that's how my day's been going. It hasn't been the best, but this has definitely brightened it up.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully this debate has cheered you up a little bit. I'll take this one from Big Sam Energy. Indian Panini, what's your stance on this and why? I'm generally on the affirmative side. I do believe that LGBTQ studies should be taught in school, and I do so for a wide variety of reasons. Generally, I believe that teaching LGBTQ studies in school will help bring awareness to everything, and I think one of the biggest reasons why people actually switch their sexualities in school and why Thomas might have actually, or TikTok might have actually, seeing these people switch their sexuality so much is simply because of the fact that there's not a lot of education on it, and that people, don't exactly know what their sexuality is, how to manage it, and all of these different things. I think education can really be a huge step forward in acknowledging a lot of the qualms we have in terms of the history of the LGBTQ community, and also some ways we can manage our stuff. Moving on to Ryan's question. Thomas, why do you think being gay is a preference?
Mainly just because being gay is the way you want to, go in your life, then that is your preference. It would be my preference to do something that directly influences my decisions and my life making skills. And being homosexual is a path I treat that more as a preference than I do as anything else.
Okay, do you disagree with that, Ami?
Oh yeah, of course. So I would just say that the wide variety of academia itself is basically said that is not a preference, it's not a choice. It's something that is acquired throughout your entire lifetime. So as you grow up, you like these certain things influence you and how you're susceptible to certain ideas, and that's kind of how it is. It's all basically impossible to change. It is impossible to change, like, pragmatically. Like, you cannot, like, if in a certain situation where if you fucking threw someone on an island with only men, maybe, but like that's not even the case. It's not changeable.
Okay, cool. Next question. From Casper. Indoctrination is defined as, quote, the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs and critically. This is not how education works. Education is all about thinking critically. Just being told that gay people are normal people does not mean that they are brainwashing somebody to believe that and not question it. You're able to question things. That's a part of education. So with all that said, how can you call the teaching of LGBTQ issues, quote, indoctrination? This is for
Thomas. Mainly just because students, being young teenagers, will take that more as a suggestion than they will actual history. And as far as the teenage emotion goes, it just doesn't, like I said, I don't have very many statistics as far as this debate went, just because there's not a lot of people out there who are throwing statistics my way, especially in a debate like this. So when you have a large group of teenagers and they exert their feelings in different manners, different ways, different possibilities, you hear about this subject, your brain is influenced by this subject, and you will automatically think like, oh, maybe I want to hop on this trend of sexuality.
Okay, I disagree.
These were my thoughts during the debate. After rethinking, obviously, there's a lot of critical thinking I have to do.
Yeah, of course. That's the best part about debates. It relies on people to be critical thinking after. You can still argue for your point, but then as long as you understand that maybe you have some contradictions or something like that, it's all good. Like, yeah, again, it's the woke people that basically say, like, the woke minority that basically go, all right, I'm going to act gay because I think being gay is cool, because people don't actually know the repercussions of being gay. You don't understand, like, the actual nuances of them.
This is from Randy. Thomas, why or how do you differentiate indoctrination on LGBTQ issues in school versus indoctrination on literally any other topics of education, indoctrination on U.S. history, sexual education, etc.? What makes one a problem and the others not?
Well, indoctrination can be used as a tool by anyone of power, and as we all know, teachers have a literal monopoly on schools, or most teachers do anyway. So any teacher at any time could use that influence as a way to try to feed into the kid's mind and tell them that this should be better than this, or this, you can severely open your mind up to this, or this should be what you should believe in. And as ridiculous as that sounds, that is exactly what happens some of the time.
I guess a weird question I would ask then is, like, should we stop schools? Like, should we just cancel schools?
Anyone who knows me, and I know you guys don't, and this is another debate we can get into another day, but I believe in the complete reform of public education in its whole. I believe the way we teach education is absolutely ridiculous, old-fashioned, and outdated from things that we used to teach during the Industrial Revolution. And I believe that our education is significantly lower than it was 40 years ago due to the Board of Education changing everyone's school curriculum to be the same exact thing. But no, I don't believe we should ditch schools. I believe we should reform school. I'm for public education reform.
Yeah, I would just say, I guess, for like that, even though it's a completely separate idea, is like, why don't we just look at like other world examples where they have the highest education in the entire world, like someplace like South Korea or something where they have public mandated education, but whatever. That's besides the point. Anyway, next question.
Yeah, next question. We're going to take about 2 to 3 more questions and then we can get into closings. I'm going to find one for, try to find one for...
There was one for both of us I saw on the questions, which I thought would be a nice one. It was by AGR, I think.
Oh. Okay, for both of you. So no responses this time, just both of you answer. Do you believe that misinformation of LGBTQ plus individuals is a microcosm of the flawed, biased education system set in place?
Yeah, I'll talk about it first. You can have the second one because I feel like me going second always gives me this kind of upper level. But anyway, yeah, of course, I believe that like this idea, like schools were founded and like the curriculum for schools were always like dictated from the past. Like things in the past have changed. That's why we should always be improving our schooling. Like in the past, there was certain economic issues that we wouldn't teach in colleges because it was just considered not good. Like socialism, you can see a lot more socialist classes kind of going on right now in colleges, which kind of I think is a lot better. But another idea is for just the LGBTQ issues and like in the past experiences is why some schooling can be considered outdated. Like there are a lot of things that change throughout history that we always have to be implementing new ideas into school because school like education increases. We learn new things every day, even in basic things like that's why I think is the best. That's why of course it's going to be flawed.
TikTok, anything to add?
No, I have nothing to add. I actually completely agree with them on that one.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna go with Yumeko because she's really hitting me up right now. I'll read her question. Why do you think being gay is a choice, and how is it a choice whatsoever? Lol, you can't just wake up one day and be like, quote, I'm gonna be gay today. No, sexualities aren't a choice at fucking all. I didn't choose to be bi at all. Okay.
Okay, he already answered this. Okay, he already answered this. Chill.
Yeah, this is the same question. Her first question was, why do you think that we shouldn't teach LGBT? Okay. Her question was, why shouldn't we teach LGBTQ history in school? I feel like that was the whole debate, but you can answer it if you want.
Yeah, basically.
That was the debate. That was
the entire debate. Literally.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Listen, you make great questions. I know you typed out a ton, and I'm really sorry. Your questions are both like they've either already been answered or this is the topic of the debate. I'm sorry.
I just want to throw out because you're probably not going to ask the question, but yeah, the maximum sample size is basically 1,000 because anything above it is just useless. Like that, like actual like statistical sample size, like Casper gave it. It's literally like 1,000 is the best one you can give. 12,000 is way too much.
The minimum sample size is 30 for a representative sample, and the maximum sample size is 1,000 before it is considered to be adding redundancy. Okay, cool. I'll ask one more question. When people first, this is from 𝗙𝗃𝗚, by the way. When people first integrated schools, the backlash was huge. Black students were targeted badly, although it is an instrumental part of civil rights. Why is the introduction of diversity into schools only bad when it is LGBTQ people? And I assume this is for Thomas.
These questions are just reiterated questions.
I'm glad that you gave that, but because like when you look, like the problem is a lot of times like I used to have the exact same opinions as you because I thought like that. It's logical to think like you do without doing any research. Like the idea of there's obviously going to be backlash. We shouldn't implement this immediately. Like that's a thought. That's a thought everyone has and should have because it's serious. It's like these kids are just going to be bullied even more if we put this in. Why would we? And then that's when you have to ask the second question. Well, what can we do to solve it? And I'm glad you gave that concession because it's true. The best way to change it is to do it as soon as possible. So there's like the farther it goes, the more harm is done. And then if we change it, it's a spike, but that spike then lowers way more than it would be before. And I think you agree with that, which was nice.
Okay, right. If we're now all done with, I'm sure he's nodded or whatever. If we're now, oh shit,
that's be a part of your guys' first debate as well. That's awesome. I love doing that.
Oh, dude, this is awesome. Yeah, totally.
You guys are actually the first like small group of people that have actually debated. Normally, the people that I debate are really large creators. Some of them, like I was told in the Discord, they act smart. They're not. You can use smart words, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make you an intellectual. It just makes you a fraud. And then those people who are actually smart, which I love doing. But I hope you guys advance in the social media game.
Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you.
I hope you do too, but only if you change your dog shit opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. You're a really cool guy, but fuck me. You have some stupid shit that you say.
It's okay. Yeah, just change your opinion on it. I'm pretty sure you just want me to change.
Yeah, I disagree with the whole everyone can have their opinion. No, I'm always right. There's nothing I say that's wrong. Okay.
As you can see, OmniFlow is pretty opinionated.
Samantha gets water bottle cocktail.
Okay, everyone. This was an awesome debate. I really want to thank TikTok Back to Team for coming on today. This was awesome. I'm really hyped up for this debate. If you
Plug
want
yourself.
to watch
Plug
the-
yourself. Plug yourself.
Yeah,
Get that clout. Get that clout.
I put your TikTok in the description, but if you want to plug anything else, yeah, go ahead. That's all you want to plug?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. In that case, I want to thank you all for watching. If you want to watch this debate in its entirety, you will be able to. I will publish the VOD of the stream on the Base Leftist YouTube channel. Also, check out Base Leftist TikTok. It's in the description below. Awesome debate, guys. I thought it was really productive, and yeah, I guess I'll end the stream now. Cool. Bye, everyone.
Have a good one, everyone. And thanks again.